Good morning. Just getting settled in here. Go ahead and find a comfortable seat. I'm so glad you guys popped in to practice today. Thank you so much for joining me. You're going to need 2 blocks and maybe a blanket for some extra padding under the knees. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here in a comfortable seat. I think I see Susan's message. Good morning, Susan. All right, so once you've arrived, getting comfortable in a seat, any seat of your choice, allowing your seat to be heavy as the breath informs the posture of your spine. So allowing the breath as it moves through you to energize and open the spine. As you inhale, the tailbone grounds down a little bit deeper into your mat. And as you exhale, the crown of the head reaches a little bit higher for the sky. So a couple cycles of breath here to really make contact with breath and the quality of awareness that breath brings to the practice. Maybe setting an intention here to check in with the breath, or to make a point to check in with your awareness at various points throughout the practice, to see if you can still feel that embodied breath, embodied awareness as we start to move. And after another full cycle of breath, or whenever you're ready, begin to open your eyes again. Bring your awareness back to the room. And eventually make your way onto hands and knees in table pose. We're going to be working on warming up the spine this morning. So we'll be moving it in all directions, starting from side to side. So bring the hips over to the right as you gaze over your left shoulder. And then swing the hips over to the left as your gaze goes over the opposite shoulder. And then back over to the first side. Maybe linking breath to movement here. And then eventually moving from side to side in a way that creates one long, continuous movement. And the next time you come through center, pause there. And as you inhale, lift the spine up towards the sky. Exhale, drop your belly down and scoop the chest forward. And inhale again to round the spine up towards the sky. A couple cat-cows here again, letting the pace of your breath guide the movement. And eventually creating one long, continuous movement, as continuous as the breath. Letting the breath be your guide. All right, go ahead and pause in the center. Tuck your toes into the mat and come up to standing on your knees. Okay, from here, take your right leg straight out to the side, plant the foot. And take your left arm straight up, reach up. Right arm rests on the right leg. Inhale to get tall and exhale to come over. Really breathing into the side seam here. Maybe coming down a little bit further with each breath. Inhaling to get long on the side and exhaling to come over a little further down. Only going as far as you can stay stable. It's not about how far you can go. And then anchor down in that extended foot to come back up. Release the arm down, bring both knees back together on the mat. Bring both hands back to the earth. Let's do one more cat here as we round the spine up. And tuck the toes in to come back up to knees. Place both hands in front of the heart together. Inhale, lift the sternum up towards the sky. And release both arms back down by your side. Okay, other side now, taking the left leg out to the side, planting the foot firmly on the ground. Right arm reaches up. Inhale to get long. Exhale to come over. Couple more times. And back up. Release that arm back down by your side. Bring both knees back together. And come on into table pose one more time. All right. Tucking the back toes into the mat, lift your knees up just a few inches here. Then press the chest into your thighs and lift the hips up towards the sky. Alternate straightening and bending both legs here as we warm up the outer hips and hamstrings. And then pause in the center. On your next breath in, take your right leg up towards the sky. Bend your knee and open out to the side. Keeping the shoulders level. And bring the knee back in, coming in towards your nose before you step it all the way forward between both hands. Let the back heel come down to the mat. Press into the front foot and reach up with both arms, coming into warrior one. Release both arms down by your sides and then interlace the fingers behind you, pulling your hands away from you as your shoulders pull away from your ears. Inhale and press into the front foot to straighten your leg. Inhale to get tall. Exhale, bend into the front knee as you fold your chest over the thigh. Reaching your arms up and back. Inhale, again, press into the leg to straighten and come back up. And exhale to bend and fold. Following the breath here. Do this a couple times at your own pace. Maybe switching the inhales and the exhales, depending on what feels best for this movement for you. And the next time you come down, the next time you come forward, pause there, reaching the arms up, maybe a little bit higher, creating space between the shoulders and the ears. One more cycle of breath. And wait for the exhale. Unwind the hands, scoop them down, and reach back up to warrior one. Inhale, get tall one last time here. Exhale, release both hands back to the earth, framing the front foot. Step the front foot back to down dog. Lift the hips up. Other side. As you breathe in, lift the left leg up. Bend the knee and open out to the side. Shoulders stay level. And bring the knee in towards your nose as you step all the way forward. Back heel comes down to the mat. Press into the front foot. Reach both arms up, warrior one. And release your arms down by your sides. Interlace the fingers behind you and pull your shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend into the front knee as you fold forward. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, fold forward again. A couple times, following your breath. Can this become one long, continuous movement? And I've just switched the exhale now so that I exhale as I come up, pressing through that front foot, and inhale to come down. So you can try that out and see what works for you. One more cycle. The next time you come forward, pause, reaching the arms up, shoulders away from the ears. And swoop the arms down and all the way back up. One last warrior one. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, release both hands down to frame the front foot. Step back. This time, bring both knees down to the ground. And scoop the spine up towards the sky. Exhale, tuck your toes into the mat. Come back up to standing on your knees. Bring both hands together in front of the heart and lift your sternum up towards the sky, creating space between the shoulders, in the chest. And release both hands back to the earth. And straighten both legs straight back behind you this time, coming into plank. Option to come onto the forearms here. One deep inhale here into the belly. And exhale to come down to your knees and all the way down to the belly. Let your forehead rest on the mat. And then anchor the tops of your feet and let the pelvis be heavy as you lift the chest up just a few inches off the ground. Let the back of the neck stay long. Let there be easy movement of breath all along the spine. And then release your head back down. And press yourself back up to table pose. All right. Tucking the toes into the mat. Lift your knees. Press your chest in towards the thighs and lift your hips up towards the sky. Option always here to bring a little bit of movement to the legs before we come forward again. All right, pausing somewhere in the middle. Breathe in to lift the right leg up. Bend the knee, bring it in towards your nose, and step all the way forward. This time, you're going to step the back foot in a couple feet so that it comes staggered with that front foot. All right, so feet are staggered. Anchor down through the soles of both feet. And reach all the way up with both arms. Release both arms down by your sides. Interlace the fingers behind you and pull the hands away from you as shoulders draw away from the ears. Inhale to get tall. Exhale, folding from the hips. Bring the chest parallel with the mat. Couple breaths here. And then release your hands down to blocks. All right, so finding your blocks here. As you settle in, shift your weight forward into the front foot as your back leg lifts up. Inhale. Exhale to bring the back foot back down as you rock back. Inhale, rock forward, lift the back leg up. Exhale, release down and rock back. All right, a couple cycles of this here. Always using the breath to guide the movement. Going as slow as needed to keep this effortless and continuous. Finding again the rhythm of that one long continuous movement. All right, one more time, coming up and back down. And the next time you rock forward, lift the back leg up, pause there. Reach back through the back heel, reach forward through the crown of the head. Ground down through that strong foot. And option here to maybe play with coming onto the fingertips, or even to bringing the hands together in front of the heart. One more cycle of breath here. And release back down. All right, this time bringing the back foot to meet the front so that both feet are right next to each other. Let your knees be soft. And bring a little swaying movement by dragging the fingertips from side to side. Let your head hang. And alternate straightening and bending both legs. Nice way to just shake out and wake up the hips again after that. All right, and then pause somewhere in the middle. Bring both hands back to the earth and step back to down dog. Other side now. Breathing in, lift your left leg. Bend the knee, bring it in towards the nose and step it forward. Step your back foot in a couple feet, bringing both feet staggered. Plant down through the soles of the feet. Inhale, reach up through both arms to come up to standing. Release both arms down by your sides. Interlace the fingers behind you and pull shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, fold from the hips, bringing the chest parallel to the mat. Shoulders stay away from the ears. Hands reach up towards the sky or in the direction of that. And then release your hands down to your blocks in front of you. Shift your weight forward as your back leg comes up. Inhale. Exhale, come back down, rock back onto the heels, and rock forward, coming back up. All right, continuing here at your pace. creating one long, easy movement. All right, and the next time you come forward, lifting the back leg up, pause there. Reach back through the sole of the foot, reaching forward through the crown of the head. Imagining breath and energy coursing through from top to bottom, reaching out and expanding forward and back. And release the back foot back down. Release your blocks. And bring both feet back together. One more time, swaying here. We'll keep this a little bit shorter this time, just to shake out the hips. All right, and then pause somewhere in the center. Come on back to down dog. This time, bring the knees down to the mat. Inhale, round the spine up towards the sky. Exhale, tuck the toes. Bring your chest all the way up, coming onto your knees. All right, bringing the hands in front of the heart together. Lift the sternum up towards the sky. A couple more breaths here. So option is to keep the hands where they are in front of the heart, or to interlace the fingers behind you and pull the shoulders away as the sternum rises up. Alternatively, bringing your hands to your heels behind you or to blocks behind you. Okay, a couple more breaths wherever you are. Lifting the sternum up towards the sky, creating space all along the collarbone. And bring your chin back down towards your chest. Come back up. All right. Bring both hands back to the earth. Let your legs come out straight behind you and come into plank. Inhale, breathe into the belly. Exhale, bring knees back down to the mat and come on down to your belly. Tops of the feet are heavy and grounded down. Pelvis is heavy as you lift your chest just a few inches off the ground. Inhale, allowing the breath to maintain that space between the shoulders and the ears, letting the neck and the shoulders be soft even while they're active. And then release the forehead back down to the mat. And push yourself back up to table pose. This time coming all the way down, hips to heels, sitting on your heels. You have the option to come into child's pose a couple different ways here. So you can keep the knees as they are, or you can open them out to the side. And then the arms can stretch forward as your forehead comes down to the mat, or you can bring them right behind you. Slowly make your way back to hands and knees, coming into table. And then bring the top of your head, the very top of your head, all the way down to the mat. You're going to roll it forward and back a couple times, feeling out the pressure. So depending on how good it feels and how your neck feels as you're rolling forward and back, you can adjust the pressure. And see if you can bring breath to this movement as well. It's a small movement, but it can be one of those long, continuous movements when we bring that breath and awareness to it. All right, gently lift your head back up, coming into table pose, and then eventually making your way onto your back. Keep your knees bent, feet are flat on the floor. And then bend the knees and hug them in towards your chest. Circle the legs in one direction. And then pause, and keeping the knees bent, bring them over to the left side, coming all the way down to the ground as your gaze goes over to the right. Then bring your head back up, back through center, knees come back to center. Roll them in the opposite direction this time. And then pause and bring the knees over to the right. Gaze goes over to the left. Easy twist here. Allowing the breath to help you settle into this shape. And then bring your head back to center. Knees come back up. Hug them in towards you one more time. Open the knees this time so you can grab hold of the outer edges of your feet. Bringing the soles up towards the sky, rock side to side. Happy rocking baby. And then pause once you've nicely massaged the spine, bringing the knees back together. Roll all the way over to one side. And as slowly, peacefully as possible, make your way to a seated position. Bring your hands in front of your heart. You can bow your head to honor the breath that was a part of this practice, guiding us through the body. And also taking a moment to recognize that common light that everyone who practiced with us today shares and celebrates. Namaste. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for coming. And I will see you next week.